Hello and welcome. We're going to be standing again today, working on our wide-legged fold. So as always, let this movement meet you where you are, customize it for your needs. We're going to get an amazing lower body stretch. I've tried to tell her it's not polite to tubby on camera, but she's got her own agenda. So all right, we're going to come to a wide-legged stance. This is what we're going to be working from for all of today, pretty much. So I want you to really take a second. Of course, we're not together super long today. This video will be less than 10 minutes. It'll be brief, but I just want you to take a moment and find what width of stance feels best for you where you're at today. So the goal is to bring our toes out at a 45-degree angle. And I would say the goal is to, even from standing, to be able to start to feel a stretch. It might not be super huge, but we might start to feel our glutes engage, which means we're clenching, we're flexing through the glutes. So they're helping us to have this nice strong foundation. Okay. And we're going to start to feel a stretch in the inner thighs. Nothing major, because we also want to be able to keep our balance. So that's the key. That's the secret there. So I don't want you to be in such a wide stance that you start to feel a little bit wobbly and lose your footing. Of course, you can always hold onto a wall, but that shouldn't totally be necessary unless we're really struggling with balance. Then absolutely no judgment. You can always hold on to something for support, but I would rather you kind of take a more narrow stance and feel nice and stable on your feet. So take a second, figure out what that is. We can always widen it later, but we can start a little bit narrow. Kind of a little guide might be if we bring our hands out shoulder height, we might try to get our feet to be about underneath hands or about underneath wrists. But if that feels like a little too crazy, we can bring that in more narrow. Okay. Now that we found our stance, of course, we're going to work on our posture. So this is why it's important. I'm going to narrow this a little bit. My feet are a little slippery on this mat today. We are going to find our nice, good, strong posture. So as we work on posture, we might find that balance starts to feel a little bit wobbly, which is why it's important that we adjust our stance, because we don't want to sacrifice our posture. So what do I mean by that? As always, we have a natural tendency that we talk about all the time to kind of round our shoulders. Of course, I'm exaggerating, but we might find that we're doing that. So we want to pull those beautiful shoulders back, plug them down, have our chest nice and open here. Take a big breath in and exhale out. Big breath in through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Beautiful. Amazing, amazing job. Now we are eventually going to work through a fold, but we're going to warm up a little bit here from this stance. So go ahead and bring your hands to your waist, pull elbows back. We're going to look forward slightly. This is our superhero pose, scientifically proven to give us a boost of confidence. So if you've ever watched Grey's Anatomy, you've probably seen doctors in this pose before an important surgery. Gives us a little bit of boost of confidence here, gets the blood flowing. Take a big breath in and out. Amazing job. Go ahead and drop your right hand. We're going to sweep it up and over into a side body stretch, letting your torso, your head, your neck, your spine kind of follow the curve of that arm. Big breath in and out. And then go ahead and drop it down. Repeat other side, sweeping left arm up and over. You can feel this all the way into our hips, even more so from this wide stance. And then go ahead and drop it down. Amazing job. Now bringing those hands back to the waistline, pulling elbows, shoulders back. We're going to maintain this beautiful straight line through the torso and the spine. So we're not going to round through the shoulders right away. I'll cue us when we want to get there, but we're going to start this with this idea of a flat back. Doesn't have to be perfectly flat, but just this kind of intention. Bumping hips back, we're going to start to fold forward. You can take a slight micro bend in your knees. We're going to lower, 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 lower torso down halfway, about what feels like halfway. You might start to feel a big stretch in your hamstrings here. Good. Now bend the knees a little bit more. Going to get us deeper into this fold. Big breath in, exhale. Now you can drop your hands down towards the floor, bend your knees generously, and let those shoulders relax. Good. Now bending your knees as much as you need to, bringing your hands down to the floor. If that feels right, you can even come flat onto your palms. The more you walk your hands forward and create a bit of a triangle between hands and feet, the more support you're going to have. The more you walk your hands in line with the arches of your feet, the bigger of a stretch you're going to have through the hips and through the inner thighs. So just make an adjustment as you need to. Keep breathing. We're kind of upside down here, so breath becomes a little challenging. Go ahead and walk your hands over to your right foot and straighten through the left leg. Beautiful inner thigh stretch here. Walk your hands through center over to the left foot, straightening through right leg, bending left knee now. And then back to center, bending both knees as much as you need to. Let's see if we can sink a little bit deeper into this fold. We're not going to be here much longer. Big breath in, big breath out. One more big inhale. On your exhale, pressing into your feet. We're going to slow, slow, slow as we can. Start to roll on up. First, starting to straighten through the legs, and then imagining that you're stacking your vertebrae one at a time until we come back up to this beautiful wide-legged stance. That wasn't so bad, right? Big breath in. Sweep both arms up overhead. Interlace your hands at the top. We're going to go ahead and bring our hands over to the right. Up through center, over to the left. Up through center, big breath in, get a little bit taller, reach up, exhale, release. Amazing job. You can step or hop your feet back together. You did so, so great. I'll see you guys tomorrow.